Alright, ebusia enenso bi miena wase se wa click video no so se obabehwe latest update dia tum na Ghana Football Association GFA for no ebusia restructuring bi ekoso na sa restructuring na omoye no ade a omoye na omode abo Blasters team no ye ba bewramu na ya bo enkomo ade afi ho na Blasters player abota ne dinti Kwabena Owusu wase ket Okraku ene Otto Addo ya ade bia wono mo enya adwene den na omo ye ba beti ensema hodo Kwabena Owusu edi atodwa Thomas Partey edi nkomo edi afa Blasters captaincy issues atempia no enkrofo edi atwapia na omo no Partey edi na notum Partey abonkomo ye ba bewram ne atie de eko ene nea eba so fast forward yenwam na ye ni enkomo akra na me hyase dia na me di wuhramu ewo abrote ne din edi Kwabena Owusu na abrote wei enkane no na Blasters de onyabibo ye pa but say no enima kwaje kekeleke enima kwaye something which is there edi ama Kwabena Owusu say no kolapo die yo abrote enya de se otiminya opportunity ebesi akan edema Blasters team no na eno no abrote ekopon komo nanse ya na oche se wono ankasa no wadwene ho na odwene ho wonte ase ena wote ase nso a wontimi enwene ho na ekwanya Ghana Football Association GFA ene Blasters technical team no ekoya mofa so collab ene hawa omusifa invite players no wono ankasa no wonte ase sei na obeka na okanda ma obibia atiase se emre bia na obolo tier teams no na onya collab ewesi akan edema Ghana ba se wowramu ebo top tier clubs ahodo no enya de such as GFA ene Blasters technical team no omohwa ne kora omumfi ni sei etu ono akasa no wonte enima bi ase na obechi mu a wose hwe wono aka so far so good wabon wade abo 14 games ena wabo 2024-2025 season no obo 14 games ena ose 9 goals ni nyina echi no Otto Addo entimi enhu no se adwuma de obobi nti o invite no our Blasters camp na Kwabena Owusu ebon komo no ena ose it's hard to understand. I was getting collabs when I was playing in the lower divisions. But now that I'm at the top level, playing in Europe's biggest competitions, I've been ignored. None of the Blaster strikers has more goals than me currently. This season, I scored 9 goals in 14 games. I feel like some people have taken things personally. I deserve a chance based on performance alone. They say I'm disrespectful. I want them to show me where I disrespected anyone. I have always given my best and shown respect. It's Kwabena Owusu and I say odwene ho a wonte ase so a wonwene ho na ono akasa no wo betimi aka ne pen e de ache obibia say currently where Blaster strikers ahodo na wono one of the best na 14 games 9 goals 14 games 9 goals ni nyina chi no adabraka Otto Addo aye ne ho say wo hu no na ono kra no ebrebia no obo lower tier clubs no na mo frɛ no sei mo mo adwe se moto no pa hwi enya de se obibia efrɛ no na ono ankasa no enkrofo che se wo mu ade eni adebuo pa ade wone ntonkwanta omo apan nanso oka e de ache obibia se enya de se ono Kwabena Owusu no obi betimi aka amana te se omu ade obu ade pa eti wei ensema wodo a Kwabena Owusu ede to dwa enti abusia obetimi ache wadwene based on ensema Kwabena Owusu de to dwa no for adwenche eto comment section ho emami now yento so nyengwamu our Blasters assistant coach Desmond Ofei akache na opani we akasa no wono na just ended an U20 team a ekopiem Egypt na yentimi ankoje cap bi anfama Ghana no na okochi wo mo eye coach Desmond Ofei yes opani we akasa no ne money e wosoro na wo ni CV so e wosoro na per reporter epa say Ghana Football Association say omo relief no enya de say wo to so na wo pa chuma e de ma Ghana Blasters like team no say wo ye full time job e de ma Otto Addo as assistant coach e wo honum say na tension ne focus and in bibia no ejina Blasters akache wo ye adwuma fully e de ma Otto Addo as assistant coach for the Blasters na report na eba ye no na omuchem say the Ghana Football Association has relieved Desmond Ofei from his role as the head coach of the Blasters as part of the technical restructuring strategy for the country's football governing body. Ofei will be focusing exclusively on the Blasters as assistant coach. He has coaching and scouting experience in Belgium, England, Holland, France, Portugal, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. They say no, coach Desmond Ofei, na juma obey nyina no, a full-time job a oye na odi assist Otto Addo Blasters akachinti eno so yen samwa etotwa na yete airmount. Now, Abronte Thomas Partey, who is Abronte no Blasters captaincy no, which hierarchy na okan obi, but per reporter na eba no, chese Abronte no, enya de se ose obetimi atoa so na wa captain team no, se adwuma ni nyina no, yemfama Jordan Ayew, ene Abronte ni din ede Alexander Juku, omo nyina omomoa na captaincy no, womu nsomu na omomo adwuma emfama Ghana. Na eno ena Abronte Partey ene 3 sports eye opani kwanchefo ni din ede Michael Otieji ekopon komo na eno na obeche se hwe owuram Blasters camp wankasa captain no enche na nye problem bia o na outsiders no ena tempia no omo create problem edma playing body no any Otto Addo tempia no na se omama tension abeda Otto Addo so na nde oka ede aye nchechemu amobi bia te se Blasters camp playing body na nkasa no omo nkasa omo betimi akani pain ede ache obi bia se captain sem no enye problem kra wo camp wonom na Abronte ebon komo no say when we switch from one captain to another to the next, it has to be smooth. I don't know where the fight is coming from. I think it is from outside. In the team, we don't talk about any player and captaincy. Now, Otto Addo say, personally, I have never think of controlling or being the head of anything. I came to the Blasters willingly. I want to be here because I have seen a lot of good players give everything for Ghana and enjoying. Now, Otto Addo say the problem is from outside, not inside, and then it becomes a problem for the coach because he gets asked about it. The players get asked. Inside there is nothing. Outside everybody talks about it. Then it becomes a problem. Eti Partey eden sama hodo etu gayenko na yenko Thomas Tay Partey.
What was the most difficult thing about adapting to life there when you went there, when you moved over to London? Because sometimes it practically feels like you're living in Accra. Too many people will stop you down the street. Too many people want to have a word with you. You go to the barber shop. Too many of them know you. How did you cope with finding the balance between keeping your focus and then still not upsetting people too much when they want to have a chat with you and the rest?
Yes, I think it's the most difficult part of my life. Transition from, Spain, that has become like a home, to London, where you don't know anyone, you make new friends, you're in a new team, you have to understand how the team want to play, you have to be a professional, you want to explore the city, and at the end of the day, you end up with people you don't really think of, but I always understand, like, before you go into the best part of your life, you have to go through, the dirty part. And I was lucky not to go too deep. I had to stop at some point and, refocus on myself, because then injuries come. People want to talk about you. You go out, they see you there, but they don't understand you are just exploring like a new person. So it's part of life. You grow, you learn from it, and at the end of the day, you grow.
Is the growing and learning part of the reason why maybe your last season was, most people say, your best in London? Is it because you've come to understand things better, you have a family, you are more settled? Is that part of the reason you were as good as you were in the last season, you think?
Yeah, I think it's the major part of it, because then now my focus is not outside anymore. It's training and home. So I just have to live two life. I'm not living a life where I have to go out and explore. I need to go to a nightclub. I need to meet a friend to eat outside. I do everything at home. So I'm more stable home, more stable mind, and then I just have to focus on playing football. And then my body is relaxed. I don't need to, be driving 1 hour in and out. So everything is involved. And I think to be able to be stable, to be focused, to play your football, you need a stable home. So most of the players who live with their parents, you know, when you are young, from 16, 17, you see them shine because they live with their parents. But then when you have to move from your parents' house and make new home, the transition to make that is where things get bad, and then if you're able to cross that line, you become what you want to be.
When I listen to you talking this way, it's almost like listening to Michael Essien, who had almost like this almost a similar mentality in terms of how you cope with London. You know, I always say that when the team started, then he will come to Black Stars camp and he wants to be on the first plane out, bang on. Given that he was in the city, he knew the city better, how much are you able to get counsel from people like that in order to be able to cope with life in a city like that properly? Was it helpful that there were people you could talk to who've experienced and gone through the process before?
Yes, I really talked to Essien. He gave me a lot of advice. He told me to be always fit because the league is not easy. Yeah, so I was still, you know, young, stubborn. You want to explore. You just listen to the advice, and then the next day someone call you to go out. So it's just the balance that I had to find, but it took me a year or 2 years to find that balance. And at the end of the day, I was able, you know, I would say I was working hard, but also being a bit stubborn. But at the end of the day, this is what is planned to be, and I'm happy to, you know, always be in a place like this to experience all this because I think it make me grow.
All right, so Thomas Partey and I say any OBA key work can in some honum it would actually now the worker say blasters and a win and a captain cry jama weno confusion si wo camp wa omo ka e da che nyina say adabraka no kura bianim bibianim mo amoma enema kwaje kekeleke edema players no omo say adwobrɛw yema bibibia enya sondwe enfama players no abusua we eye nsema Thomas Partey e de tu twa e honum timase obaso no ache wadwene e comment section ho e de amame now yensia na yensen a shout out e this side Eric Nyama a big shout out to you Skono GH ye che papa J Isaac a big shout out to you Original na GH ye che papa Gabriel Apote Arsenal ni ba kope a big shout out to you then we enter so Emma Herbert Esiedu a big shout out to you Silvanus Michel Dimorten Richard Fresh a big shout out to you Data Hene a big shout out to you Amanda Ofosuya a big shout out to Gordon Fiati ye chapa papa Matthew Atta a big shout out to you now we so ato so edema Eric Tate ye chapa papa Amanda Ofosuya wonso ye chao Ibrahim Kasum a big shout out to you AJ Medewo Diamond Skono GH Mediamon obusia ye fa shout out ni NCA bedin at Kobe and now with my friend Kobe Finest is abishia